don't want to do either of those things.
Yeah, but if you had to, though.
We set the scene, we have a choice. We must decide on the correct answer. I'm Kyle.
And I am Nathan.
And this is, If You Had To, though, the best podcast on the entire internet. Again.
Again?
Yeah, I think I said that last week. Or maybe the week before that.
Possibly. But it's true every week out of every day. That makes sense.
It's true every week out of every day.
Yes.
How many weeks in a day, Nathan?
Oh, there's dozens of them, especially this year. I think that for every day there's been at least 5 weeks. For every day there are 20 weeks. For every week there is 500 years.
Okay, so this is already been a very, very long year.
Indeed, it has. What do you mean already? We're at the end of it.
We're at the beginning of it. When this comes out, anyway.
Oh, you're talking about the next year? Oh, you're talking in pretending that we're doing the podcast at the exact moment that people are listening to it. World.
This will come out like March, so it will be very confusing if people.
And we're recording this in March. Yeah, we recorded this 10 minutes before you posted it to the internet.
Yep.
Oh, should we discuss some current topics in March 2021, Carl?
Why not?
God, I can't believe the dinosaurs came back.
Yeah. Can't believe Trump got re-elected
as King of England,
which is very weird. They just allowed it.
He walked over here, pulled a sword out of some stone. I mean, I don't even remember us having that sword in that stone, or where it came from. And he won't tell us where it came from, but apparently that made him king.
Yep. And now he and Boris Johnson are married and live in the White House together. Because we have a White House over here now.
They're absolutely made for each other.
Who's the king and who's the queen?
I mean, I think Trump would have to be the leader in that relationship.
He's the top dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, in this very real time that we live in, the premise of this show is that we create scenarios for each other, resulting in 2 possible outcomes. We'll discuss each outcome's pros and cons and decide definitively on the correct answer.
Indeed. Pure, correct truth. As authentic and as true as the, most recent boxing match of February 2021 between a duck and Godzilla.
Yeah, weird that it was broadcast to the entire world, and it was on every channel too. You could not watch it.
Every channel, every phone device, inside people's eyeballs,
and all of the screens around the world just came on. You couldn't turn them off, or even unplugging them did nothing. It was
exactly, yeah.
It was quite incredible, really. A feat of genius from the boxing referee that organised it all.
Yeah, that good old boxing referee Ernest McGregorson.
Ernest McGregorson. I would say he's man of 2021 already.
Yeah. I mean, if we had to put betting on it, and we absolutely do have to, Kyle. I bet.
Well,
it's child.
In March 2021. It is compulsory to bet on everything. So
yes. Everything, and you have to make the stakes ridiculously high. So if I'm wrong, I will murder my own mother, Kyle.
Your mother's called Kyle too. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. That's why when we first met, Kyle, I was so emotional.
You remind me of my mother. In look and in name.
And the fact that you're constantly walking around with a glass of wine, 5 cigarettes.
Is your mum Dot Cotton?
Dot Cotton, but she looks like you. Yes.
Wow.
Clearly the best mother in the world.
Clearly. Anyway, Nathan, we should probably get back onto topic, because, There's
a topic?
There is a topic. Time is ticking in March 2021. I really hope this episode comes out in March 2021, because if it doesn't, if this comes out any other month, we've really put our foot in it.
What are you talking about, Carl? You're going to release it in half an hour after
half an hour time.
March 2021.
Yeah, I just hope that time doesn't dissolve.
Or the year of the naked mole rat, as the Chinese would call it.
Yes, that is the year we are now living, currently, as of half an hour ago, if you're listening to this the second it's uploaded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But sad news for everyone around the world. Nathan, you know what happened to you, don't you?
Oh, I do know what happened to me, and it's very sad. I can't even bring myself to say it, Carl.
Well, I'll tell the viewer, the gentle viewer at home. Nathan was sitting on the toilet, reading his Sunday newspaper.
Did I steal that newspaper from my neighbour?
What, the tenacious Mr. Winters? You did indeed. I mean, he was setting up this elaborate scheme to try and foil you once and for all. But then this thing happened, cancelling out his plans entirely. Do you remember?
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when you were a little boy, Nathan, and you were still living in the house you live in now? Do you remember that you had that little pet alligator, Nathan?
Oh, good old Arnie the alligator.
Arnie the alligator. But you got bored of feeding him one day, didn't you? So you flushed him down the toilet.
That's what you do with pets when you get bored of them.
No, that's what you do with pets, Nathan.
No, it's a legal requirement. Again, as of March 2021,
Yeah.
you have to flush all your pets down the toilet, regardless of their size. If you can't fit your elephant down the toilet, you have to buy a bigger toilet.
Exactly. I mean, you should buy elephant-sized toilets anyway. That way everyone can sit around together and go at the same time.
Oh yeah, like a family does. All holding hands, singing Kumbaya.
That's what I do with my family every Christmas.
Oh, it's a beautiful image, Carl. Absolutely beautiful.
Kumbaya, my lord.
Kumbaya!
Oh, kumbaya. Ah. Whew. Kumbaya. Oh, that's
well,
better.
now that we've set the tone, so I remember flushing good old Arnie the alligator down the toilet.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't die, Nathan. He thrived. He grew up in the sewers.
Damn it, why didn't he die?
I know. You really wish that he had, but unfortunately, he survived. And as you were sitting there taking your Sunday dump, he rose up through the toilet and chomped you into tiny little pieces, killing you dead.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So I died from the buttocks upwards, did I?
You did, which is the worst way to go.
It is.
Which
Definitely
is the first fact for this March 2021 episode.
You have to line this up to come out at the right time now, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, Mr. Winters, you stole his newspaper again, and just as you were being chomped up, just as the crocodile finished your eyeball,
through the window with his sniper rifle, did he?
He shot just as your head was being eaten, and it just hit the wall, and he said, "Curses!"
Oh, he wasn't happy that I was dead. I wasn't happy that I was dead anyway. He wanted to be the one to kill me.
It had to be by his hand, unfortunately, but what can he do? He stroked his tiny moustache and went back to bed with...
I thought we established it was huge. He trimmed it.
Yeah, he trimmed it for March. The March rules that say that all men must trim their moustache.
I forgot about the March rules that say that all moustaches must be trimmed.
Yeah, come on, get with the program, Nathan.
By rule of King Trump.
King Trump and Queen Johnson.
I mean, what a glorious world we currently live in, Carl. Isn't it brilliant?
Yeah.
Don't we legally have to say that this is brilliant, what we've always wanted, under threat of death?
We legally do have to say that. Wasn't it weird when Jimmy Savile came back to life?
Oh, yeah, when they reanimated his corpse and, made him education secretary of the country.
I know, that was a bold move by Johnson there. Anyway, Nathan. So yeah, Mr. Winters, he went back to bed with Cornelius Whiskers, and we'll say no more about them.
No, I don't have to worry about the current state of affairs because apparently I'm dead.
Yeah, you died. So, as everyone knows, everyone who's watched Bill and Ted knows that when you die, you are confronted with Death himself, the Grim Reaper. And you most certainly were, Nathan. The Grim Reaper stood over you in this dark and hollow place. And he looked down at you and he said, "You're right, Nathan."
Howdy, Death.
Yeah, it looks like you've died, mate.
Oh yeah, it's just I caught a small case of the death seas.
Yeah. You shouldn't have flushed that alligator, should you?
I regret nothing.
Nah, well, best way to be in it. Live life with no regrets. Anyway, you're dead now, so...
I knew I liked you, Grimmy.
Hey, don't call me that or I'll fuck you up. Anyway, mate, shall we pop along? You're scheduled for. He looks down at his little list. He goes, heaven, heaven, heaven. Oh, you're scheduled for hell, mate.
Oh, really? After all I've done, I've not gone to the pearly gates of heaven. I am flabbergasted.
Really, Nathan? After all you've done,
Yeah,
you are
I've helped rid
flabbergasted.
the world of the perilous scourge of adorable puppies. Think of all the free time people have now that they're no longer walking by and going, "Oh, the puppy." I've given people an extra 5 hours averagely for their entire life.
Yeah, but you've taken away an extra 15 hours because they're more stressed now that they don't see the lovely puppies that release
That is
endorphins
true.
to make them
Well
happy.
done, yeah. And I have taken away about 5,000 hours out of people's lives of happiness.
Yes. So you, Nathan, very out of character, drop to your knees and beg. You beg like you've never begged before. You grab a hold of his robes and you beg death to give you another chance. Oh, I don't know, mate. Are you sure you want to go back up there? And you beg and you beg and you beg.
But a manly kind of begging, right? A distinguished, cool-looking begging, like the kind of begging that a cool leather jacket wearing hard man would be doing.
Yeah, no one else was there, so yeah, sure. We can say
that. I'll shine your shoes. I'll set your daughter up with someone nice.
I'll give you a bone massage every morning for the rest of your life, I swear.
Oh, that sounded horrible, Carl. A bone massage.
Oh, yes, and you know exactly which bone you're massaging.
Oh, my God.
Definitely taken the tone back up to peak.
Oh, yeah.
Peak March 2021 levels. So, yeah, Nathan, he says, all right, mate, all right. I guess I could put you back up there. There's a couple of guys who owe me their soul anyway. Huh?
Making trouble in the neighbourhood?
A couple of guys making trouble in the neighbourhood, yeah. There's a couple of guys who owe me their soul anyway, so I can put you in one of those. And he brings up a portal for you to step through to go into one of these guys' bodies. One of them is a convicted murderer who is currently in prison. His name's Murdery Pete.
Parents really saw ahead of him.
They really did.
They set him up for life, really. I mean, he tried to be a school teacher, but they didn't want to hire a school teacher called Murdery Pete.
No. Funnily enough, he did murder school children, so...
Ah, good. It all lines up.
All sort of works out in the end. The other guy is Homeless Joe, again, aptly named. And he's a homeless guy who is also a crack addict.
Ah, good.
He's not one of the poor homeless people who's homeless for bad reasons. He actually sold his house that he had for crack.
I mean, I don't know what the going rate is for crack, but surely that was a lot of crack.
He was a very poor businessman.
Negotiator.
Yeah, a very poor negotiator.
This bag of crack that's worth £100, I will sell you my entire house.
Yep. And my dog. So
he sold his dog.
He sold his dog, so he doesn't even have a dog sitting on the street. So now, Nathan, you've got a choice to make. Either you're going to become Murdery Pete in a maximum security prison, or Homeless Joe, the crack addict, living on the street.
And those are my two options for going back. I have to inhabit one of those bodies.
You do indeed.
Well.
But it's going to be better than hell. You know that.
It has to be better than hell, yes, definitely.
So it's time to Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music, Nathan.
I thought you were going to say something like it's like some kind of cheesy game show. It's time to play Guess Which Body?
It's time to play Murdery Pete or Homeless Joe.
That is not as catchy.
No.
And kind of only can be done once.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
That's a tricky one. So one of them is a convicted murderer who I'm assuming is serving life in prison.
He is, unfortunately, yeah. He's
maximum security prison.
He's kind of handsome, but...
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That's a step up.
It is, but some of the other prisoners might get the wrong idea, and they're not always the nicest people in prison.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The people in prison, in this maximum security prison for, whatever you call it, homicidal, murderous, thieving lunatics. They're not. They're not all nice sunshine and rainbows people.
No, not at all. But being as handsome as you are, you might get some conjugal visits with some pretty ladies, Crystal and Brandy and Stacy with an I.
Yeah, perfectly normal women names.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's a handsome but convicted murderer. But yeah, lots of people do kind of fall in love with murderers and write to them and stuff. So
yes,
I would have my
yes.
crazy attractive women.
Yeah, you could have a different woman every week. You'd be like the Lou Bega of prison.
The other alternative is that I am free. I'm on the outside, but I am homeless and destitute
Yes.
and a crack addict.
Yes. Yes.
Which when I pop into homeless Joe's body, does he already have crack on his possession?
No, he doesn't.
Just out.
He's just run out. Yeah.
Wow, and I'm in the thralls of addiction.
Yeah, I mean, because you still have
I
your
immediately come back to life, and my first thought is, I need some crack.
yeah, you still have your mind, but you do have that addiction. Like you yourself have, as far as I know, have never done crack.
No.
So you might not specifically want to go and get that for yourself, but you would still get the withdrawal symptoms of not having it.
Yes, I would go absolutely insane if I didn't go find some.
Yeah, or
So
something.
I would immediately pop into that body, and that would be the first thing I'd think about. But all I'd want in the world is to get it, and I'd need to think of some way to get some money or steal it off of someone. So I'd either have to go find organised crime and follow them around so I could break into their warehouse, or steal some money and pay a drug dealer.
Exactly.
And I don't even have a dog.
You don't even have a dog to keep you company on those cold winter nights.
Oh, on those cold March 2021 nights.
yeah, because the sun has been blocked out by Donald Trump. Mr. Burns style, which is a genuine fact and a thing that happened this year in March 2021. It's going to be very, very cold.
Yeah. Oh, that's chilly. So my first priority in life is to go find some crack. And I don't know about you, I wouldn't know off the top of my head how to go find some crack, especially without any resources. I mean, does this homeless man have a phone or access to the internet?
No. Not
Okay.
this. Not homeless Joe. He sold his phone for crack.
Oh, of course he did. Yep. Oh, silly me. I'd have to go into a local library and Google how to find crack.
Yes, there you go. Local libraries are always free. Another fact for the episode.
Yes, and you can definitely Google on there how to find crack. I'm sure they don't have any kind of restrictions. I mean, I've hired plenty of hitmen on library internet. So that would be my first port of business. I would find out where and obviously Google would be able to tell me where the nearest crack house is.
Yes.
And so that I would then either have to break into that crack house, Mission Impossible style, and I assume this body is quite affected by his addiction. So I'm probably not the most agile and fast moving. Or I try and steal some money so I can buy some. So I rob that very library. I go into the library, I look up how to find crack, and then I start robbing it. Because libraries are filled with money, as we all know.
Yeah, you're just that homeless guy who has like a little car boot sale set up, and it's like the mouse from a computer, a random book, and
Mr. Hoppy goes shopping. Like, how does your daughter want this? Does your daughter want this?
Perfect birthday present for the little princess there. I need crack.
Okay, so that's one possibility. The other is I'm guessing as Murdery Pete. I'm a big, buff, muscular man.
Yeah. Also called Handsome Pete, we must say that. Murdery Pete / Handsome Pete.
He was called Handsome Pete. That was his nickname before he started murdering people.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, Kyle, I think you might remember this. I have some experience in breaking out of prison.
You do indeed. We did an entire episode dedicated to it.
I could indeed stage another prison break.
You could. This is a maximum security prison. I don't know if that's
Oh,
what you were in before. Possibly.
I think it was. I can't. So I could potentially use my good. Oh, if I'm that handsome, I could seduce a security guard.
Maybe you could, yeah.
Exactly. I seduce a security guard, get myself a key, sneak out, and then I'm a fugitive for the rest of my life.
There is that. Or you could not be a fugitive, but you're addicted to crack and you're homeless.
I was going to say, as Murdery Pete, I might get a crack addiction in prison and then escape and then be homeless anyway.
Yeah.
There's always a possibility. Whereas, and homeless Joe could end up committing so many crimes he gets sent to a maximum security prison.
There is that.
So both of these men's lives could turn around in the opposite way.
I mean, you could, if you tried really hard to get off the crack and go and sign on at the job centre, maybe. I think you need a house to sign on at the job centre. Our economy is very weird. But but maybe you could turn things around for homeless Joe.
They won't accept my box at the corner of the street at my house.
No. You could sell the big issue. There you go.
Yes.
Get off the crack, sell the big issue. You could maybe turn your life around.
But more likely, I'd end up committing so many crimes I get sent to prison. Let's be honest.
Yes, most likely case.
I'm either getting into fights with the mob, or I'm stealing to buy some crack.
Yeah,
and
robbing libraries.
Robbing libraries, schools, firehouses. You know, all the places that people don't really care about and don't bother. Hospitals, I'm robbing from hospitals. Old people's homes. A local duck sanctuary. I just steal all of their bird feed and bread. I'm running around with one of those, cartoon swag bags, but it's filled with bread.
Of course.
Whereas Murdery Pete,
yeah.
Let's say he doesn't escape from prison. Let's say I make a life for myself in prison as the handsome boss of the prison. I'm the big guy. I'm the big guy. I was trying to think of another word for big guy, but I couldn't. I'm the top man. I'm the top shop. And I am the king of the prison. I can get all of the contraband I want, all the latest issues of Dennis the Menace.
Yep, that's what prisoners love, Dennis the Menace.
Exactly. There's one thing I know from all the gritty dramas I've watched in my life. Prisoners love Dennis the Menace. He's a role model to them. He sticks it to the man.
He is the number one bad boy of comic books.
And he's already wearing a stripy outfit.
Yeah, he's prepared.
So I would be the boss. I wouldn't be free. I'd be trapped, but I would be in charge. I would have everything I'd ever need brought to me. Like you said, because I'm so handsome and tough and because there are some crazy people out there, I would get groupies writing me up, telling me that I'm their ideal man. I would be living the life.
Sort of.
Except trapped forever indoors.
Yeah.
Do I have to work in like a prison workshop, like making wheels or something?
Making wheels?
Car wheels. Tires, that's the word.
Making wheels. You're just making... Your idea of prison is that you're just sitting in a room making hula hoops.
Oh yeah. They got those giant potato chips, and I have to use a hole press to punch a hole in them to turn them into a hula hoop.
Exactly, that's your job in prison.
So it's one big solid chip, and I have to punch a hole in the middle of it, and that's my whole day.
And that is how hula hoops are made. Another fact for the episode.
Another fact for the episode, yes.
So we need an answer, Nathan.
This is a tricky one because they both have pros and cons. But the pro for being handsome, murdery Pete is A, he's handsome,
yeah,
and B, like he could be the top man of the prison.
He could be.
He could.
There could be someone bigger than you.
The con is that I am in prison.
Yeah.
Whereas homeless Joe he's free and he can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah.
But he's homeless and addicted to crack.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but I don't know how to find crack immediately. And the way that I would go about finding it could land me in some trouble.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in this situation, because there are just more possibilities in being Murdery Pete, I could take over the prison. I could be in charge. I could stage a prison break. There are more options available to me as a big, strong, handsome murderer than as a destitute man who stole his house and his dog. I mean, if a man sells his dog for crack, you know he's in deep. So I'm going to go with possessing the body of Murdery Pete. And I will try and make a life for myself, either as an escapee or as the king of the prison.
Okay, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Not unless I escape.
Unless you escape.
The terms are I spend the rest of my life in Murdery Pete's body.
Yes.
I don't have to stay where he is right then and there. I can turn his life around. Amazing, ingenious prison escape scheme where I disguise myself as a nun.
I mean, you could say that you found Jesus, dedicate years to praying.
No, I'm disguising myself as a nun. That is the plan. That is the plan. I've decided on it right now. There is no better plan that could ever possibly be mentioned.
Okay, you're going to disguise yourself as a nun.
Disguise myself as a pregnant nun.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with that.
What do you mean good luck? It's clearly worked. I'm right here. This isn't being filmed through prison bars.
Nope. I'm looking at the newspaper now. March 2021.
Pregnant nun stages prison break.
Possible identity, Murdery Pete.
And yes, I am now a free, wanted fugitive. Again.
This happens to you a lot, but in a different body, so it's not the same you.
That's true. This time is not El Nafano they're searching for this time.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was my week. And you're not going to believe... Well, you are going to believe this because it happened to you, Kyle. But
I believe, Nathan. Trust me, I believe.
You are.
That's why I've got the poster behind me with the UFO that says I believe.
Yes. I'm glad that you believe. Just nondescript, I believe. Anything that is ever told to you.
Absolutely anything.
So, I mean, you owe me £50, first of all. That's the first thing I need you to know.
I believe that you are full of shit.
I mean, you're right there, Kyle. You're not going to believe this, Kyle, but you too have been murdered this week.
You're shitting me.
Well, no, I'm afraid not. You, Kyle, have been horrifically murdered by a goat who tried to mug you because he wanted your watch.
Bastard.
He absolutely bastard. Yeah, the last thing you heard as you died was him laughing at you.
So, you die by alligator, I die by goat. What do animals have against us?
I don't know. All I've done is murder about 20 million puppies.
I've done nothing but destroy the universe over and over again.
An eagle to save me from prison. And yeah, you've done nothing but destroy the universe 3 or 4, 5,000 times. So yes, the goat stabbed you with a spoon right through the brain.
Did he eat my brain?
You don't know. It all went black after that, Carl.
Yeah, it did indeed.
I mean, I think we'd like to believe that he would have ate your brain. I'd like to think he didn't waste it, but there's just no way of knowing.
I mean, if he used a spoon, I would hope so.
Maybe that's just his murder weapon.
Oh, yeah, I do remember reading.
I don't know, Carl. It's not like I'm in league with the goat. It's not like I hired the goat to steal your watch. Why would I do that? Why would I want the goat to steal your beautiful, shiny, glorious watch? It's so shiny and beautiful.
I do remember reading in the latest March 2021 newspaper about the goat spoon murderer.
And then about the nun that escaped from prison.
Oh, yeah, that was on the next page.
Wearing a fabulous watch.
Yeah.
That was this on the second page. So you have died, Kyle, and you fall into the darkness, floating in the void, until you begin to see a bright white light.
Aha, I beat you, you bastard.
And then, next to that bright white light, you see a bright red fiery light.
Oh, shit.
You are floating in the void in front of these two glowing lights. And from one, you feel a gentle warmth. The other, you can feel, will burn your skin alive.
I go towards the gentle light.
That was not the question. You're floating. You have no control over where you
I thought the question was, do I want eternal happiness or hell? But clearly, no, that was not the question for this episode.
You then hear two voices, one pure, sweet, angelic, and the other guttural, animal, brutal, speaking over each other, saying the exact same words. They say you are at a crossroads. You have lived a complicated life of great heroic deeds as well as monstrously evil acts, and therefore we are not ready to cast final judgment on you. We have a final test to determine your place in the afterlife. You will be sent back to the land of the living to watch over the person you hate most in life. The choice is you will either be his guardian angel, guiding him, teaching him, protecting him, or you will be a vengeful spirit haunting him and tormenting him for the rest of his life.
So, my worst enemy, the person I hate the very most in the entire world.
Handsome Chad.
Handsome Chad. He beats me at absolutely everything.
He used to go to school with you and he used to beat you up almost every day, and all your girlfriends would end up falling for him.
Yep.
And then you didn't see him for many years and you thought you'd gotten over that childhood trauma. And then one day he turned up at your job.
Turned up at my job as my boss.
Well, he started off at the same level as you, but within a week he was promoted to be your boss.
Yeah, because he was so handsome.
He turned up and you were his supervisor teaching him. But then everyone loved him so much. All of the other employees, Deborah, the dinner lady that you've been flirting with for the past, you've been, trying to wear her down and getting her good books for the last 5 or 6 years. You're playing the long game. He had sex with her right in front of you 5 seconds after you introduced.
I know. That was quite brazen. I actually quite applauded his actions there. Like, the sheer tenacity to meet a woman and then start having sex with her right in front of everyone in the office was quite an impressive feat.
She has sex with him as well. It's not just he.
Oh yeah, no, it was consensual, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, he has like this magnetism that women just fall at his knees.
You're a chef, Carl, and you're just last week your boss had told you that, Carl, you've done some adequate work for this job.
And that was the best praise I'd had like my entire life.
You cried all evening about that.
Yeah.
But then within 5 seconds of you training, just after he'd been done having sex with this woman that you've been flirting with, he then made a meal 1,000,000 times better than anything you could ever make in your entire life.
And was promoted to manager and has made my life a living hell ever since.
He was promoted to manager that evening, and then the day later he bought the company and was CEO.
I know. Handsome Chad gets everything he wants. He's got money, women. He didn't even need this job. He just got it because he knew I was working there.
Absolutely loaded.
Yeah. And every time he sees me, he bullies me. He gives me noogies, flushes my head down the toilet.
Steals your lunch money despite not needing the money at all.
Yeah. He does that thing where he says, "Oh, what's that?" And then he flicks you in the nose. Gives you.
He catfished you for 6 months of your life, pretending to be a woman online, and you had a deep emotional connection with her. And you finally found the one, and then it was him, and he punched you in the face.
Yeah, I told him/her all of my deepest, darkest secrets. And
yeah, you told him about that weird thing on your penis.
Oh, yeah. I told him about that weird thing I have, and he told me, no, that's a penis. I had never showed it to anyone before this point, and...
You're actually saying to him, who you thought was Geraldine, the exotic dancer from Switzerland.
Yeah, I still have memories of... Like, when I thought Geraldine was real, I thought she was the one. Like, that's how good he is. He even seduced me.
Yeah. So, yeah, he has been making your life miserable for years, Kyle. As your boss now, he is constantly demanding of you. He's making you jump through hoops to keep your job. Just the other week, you had to make your meal while standing on a trampoline, while juggling knives.
Yeah, I have to literally jump through hoops as well. Hoops of fire that he's set up on the way to the kitchens.
And if you're late, even by 30 seconds, he will go ballistic on you.
Yeah. Yeah, he will scream in my face. And everyone else in the office, he seems... The kitchen office, because, this is... It's a very interesting place where I work. It's like you've got office cubicles, but you've also got little kitchens as well.
Oh yeah. You're basically in a kitchen in the middle of a giant office. Like you're cooking away, and all around you are computer desks.
Yeah, and we have
Bunch of
judges
books.
like in MasterChef and Bake Off. Um, we have like the
Before had a pretty good relationship with the judges. You had good banter with them.
yeah.
Then you turned up, and handsome Chad started telling the judges all of these stories about you to them, which weren't true at all. You know, you never strangled a leprechaun prostitute,
No, especially not in a hotel room
especially not in a hotel room. Yes, no.
on the 23rd of May 1987.
You're even born then.
Especially not on the 23rd of May 1997.
Yeah, you definitely didn't invent time travel, go back in time, murder someone, and then travel 10 years into the future and murder someone again.
Certainly not. But yeah, the judges would always come around. I'd never have a soggy bottom. The Paul Hollywood
No.
types would be absolutely impressed with every single dish I made. But now
But,
they
yeah,
come round and they
reasons against you.
they seem to pick faults in every dish I make.
Just because he told them the facts of your life and all the horrible, horrible things you've done, for some reason, it's turned them all against you.
So this lovely guy, handsome Chad, is handsome his first name?
Oh no. He was just Chad, but then by the age of 5, everyone started calling him Handsome Chad, and like at the age of 10, he had it legally changed.
He was so damn handsome that he had to have it changed. People insisted that he be called
Absolutely.
Handsome Chad. So I hate this guy.
Kyle,
Yeah.
you can either come back to the land of the living as a spirit, but you will either be a guardian angel guiding this man, helping him, teaching him, protecting him from all the troubles in the world, or you can be a vengeful poltergeist spirit haunting him, you know, jumping out at him at the dark, whispering in his ear in the nighttime, making plates spin in front of him, changing his TV channel whenever he's watching something good.
Oh,
You know, the most terrifying thing of them all.
and taking the batteries out of his remote so he can't turn it back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do like that.
Playing the piano that he has in his living room.
So the reason for helping him would be so that I could get into the good place, the white holy light, presumably.
Yes, presumably.
So if I did have to help him, like, he's pretty damn perfect as it is on the surface, but when he's on his own, you know, he can get up to some devious stuff. So say he was in his office picking his nose and then someone walked in, I would be able to protect him from that. And
Exactly.
have
You would be able to like magically make the wind blow so the door closes.
yeah, or I'd have like the light shine in the person's eyes so they don't see it at the time, and he can quickly wipe it on his shirt and then put his hands on his hips ready to greet them.
But I mean, you have just died, Carl, so you will have to see him go to your funeral, pretend to be really sad about it, and seduce your mother.
Yes, and my father.
And have a menage a trois.
Exactly. And then afterwards, as he's having his cigarette, my brothers and sisters come in and he has them too.
As a guardian angel, you'll have to help set the mood. Make sure that all the candle lights stay lit during the passion.
Yes. Play some Barry Manilow for them.
Yeah, play some magical jazz.
I'm not liking this. So, okay, so if I can torture this guy, I can make his life a living hell.
Yes, you're a vengeful ghost. You're a vengeful spirit. You are either way. As either spirit, you have to follow this guy around forever. You're not allowed to go anywhere else or do anything else. You have to be with them constantly.
Yeah.
So your afterlife revolves around them. But as a vengeful spirit, you can haunt him, terrify him, torment him. You can invade his dreams while he sleeps.
Oh, I can Freddy Krueger him.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You have a whole host of ghostly magical powers.
I can lift the covers off of his feet as he sleeps so his feet get cold.
Yeah.
And then he keeps waking up because his feet are so cold. He pulls the cover back over. 10 minutes later, I do the exact same thing. What else could I do to this bastard?
As he's about to bite a chip, that chip can fly out of his hand.
Yep. I can get seagulls to attack him as he's eating his chips on the beach.
Yes. You can ghost possess a seagull and just make it absolutely go crazy for him.
Oh, I would constantly make birds shit on his head.
It's everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes, it doesn't matter.
You would possess like a crow and have that crow follow him around everywhere he goes.
Yeah, they would shit all over his Porsche.
You could possess his Porsche.
I could. Oh, I could.
Because he's got one of those super advanced computer cars that's run by computer, like we have in March 2021.
Exactly. I'd be like Christine from the Stephen King film.
Yeah, without saying from the Stephen King film, no one gets that reference, Carl. Yeah, so you could possess the car, make it drive him off of a cliff.
So if he dies, is that it? That's my job over with?
Yes, when he dies, your job is done. And then you can help his spirit, guide his spirit to its afterlife.
So I'll either help guide it in a helpful way or tripping him up the entire way and pushing him forwards and pushing him towards the afterlife.
Yeah, you could try and you could also try and corrupt him in his sleep and do things in his life that will make him end up going to the dark place.
Yes, I can make him commit awful, awful deeds. I could put dark, dark thoughts in his brain.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's your choice, Carl. I mean, you do have to be aware that these actions will have consequences. Are you willing to be nice, kind, and supportive to the man you hate most in life, who will probably spend the next few months of his life systematically seducing every single person in your family and every woman you've ever dated?
every brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, everyone that I know. He's just got to have them all.
Every woman that's rejected you, he'll find them.
Every woman that's ever come into contact with me, ever. Anyone I've ever met.
Exactly. So that'll be the first 6 months of you following him around. Will be him getting through that list of people.
He hates me that much for some reason.
He's got extensive files on you as well that he knows who all these people are.
Yeah. I mean, he'd have to finally work his way to you and either do something to you or try and sleep with you.
But I've beaten him to it by already dying.
There you go.
And now I'm in the body of a big muscular nun, remember?
Exactly. And I don't think
I'm a muscular pregnant nun. He's not going to find me.
Never. And the other option, and the option that I'm going to go with, Nathan, is that I systematically attack and bully and destroy this man that I hate so much.
Drive him insane, make him go into a mental institute because he keeps hearing noises and seeing things, seeing faces in the mirror.
Oh yeah, I would be in his mirror. Every time he looks in the mirror, I would be there going, ooga booga booga.
You'd moon in the mirror. You would just see a ghost butt in the mirror.
Exactly. And I would whisper things in his ear as he sleeps. You know, like how people get those tapes to help them stop smoking. It's like, you will stop smoking. Yes. I could get him to believe anything or think anything or think a certain way. I could do so many things to this guy.
What's the most ridiculous thing you could convince him of? You could convince him that, to horribly mispronounce a word. A common word. Cat is pronounced Qatar.
Did you see that Qatar over there? What? The Qatar? Yes, I hate Chad so much that I'm willing to risk going to hell to torment him.
That sounds like the right choice to me. Chad sounds like a douche.
He really is.
So you are now a vengeful spirit, Kyle, haunting handsome Chad for the rest of his life.
Yes.
However long that may be.
I think I'll try and keep him alive for a while before Christine.
To avoid going to hell.
To avoid going to hell. Actually, yeah, I'll make him live to a ripe old age. He'll just be completely insane. And I think that says a lot about me and about human nature in general.
It says a lot about you and your pettiness, yes.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the things that he did to me seemed very unwarranted in the first place.
Well, I haven't mentioned all the things that you've done.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that right now.
This story is from your perspective, where you're automatically the good guy. If I framed it from a more accurate, truthful perspective, people might have a different opinion of
no, I don't think so.
Handsome Chad. They may actually phrase him as poor innocent Chad, who's never done anything wrong a day in his life.
No, I like the story we told earlier better, actually. The story where I'm the underdog and I'm the one that people should feel sorry for.
All right. So we've had quite an eventful week, Carl. We've both
We
died.
both died by animal-related death.
I mean, when we first met, I think I always knew it was going to end this way.
Yeah. I tell you what, Nathan, March 2021 has been a roller coaster for the both of us.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, that's definitely what they're going to carve into my tombstone, beginning of life to March 2021.
Yeah, me too. Wow.
I mean, mate, I don't know how the timeline exact. Did we die on the same day within the same hour?
I think it probably was, yeah. It's hard to say,
Maybe,
really.
it might have been like a plot, Carl, that the animals were synchronized to attack.
We must end this podcast. It's gone on too long. They don't record in the proper timeline. They release them far too long after they've recorded them. They can't ever be topical. It's terrible.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to imagine that March 2021 is the last time we'll have this podcast.
I know. Who would have thought that when we started this evening, how long?
This evening, March 2021.
Yeah, this evening in March 2021, that this would be the last episode of our podcast ever.
I mean, we both should have suspected it because the things that happened to us happened before we started recording this podcast.
It's quite amazing that the powers that be believe in us enough to let us come back to do this one final episode.
Oh, you mean our producers? The producers that we've never mentioned on this show.
The producers, the magical overlords that have the powers to bring us back to life for one day.
I'm just trying to remember who would be our producer. Like a bear in a tutu.
A bear in a tutu. Oh, you mean Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah,
Brian the raging alcoholic.
And Sylvester the armadillo.
Who's just pumped full of steroids.
Yeah. He's just happy that we're releasing stuff. He's like, yeah, it's amazing. Do it.
Oh, God. I've got to say, that guy, the armadillo, whose name I definitely remember.
Brian and Sylvester.
Sylvester the armadillo. Oh, he is so encouraging. It's just non-stop encouragement from him. Where he's just screaming in our faces, yeah!
Just do it!
Yeah.
He's the Shia LaBeouf of armadillos. And if you disagree with anything we've said today, then you can contact Sylvester the armadillo and Brian the bear. Or you could,
admin.
Yeah, or you could let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the episode, then please follow and subscribe to the podcast on Patreon. You can find it at patreon.com/ifyouhadto, though, where you can find all the newest episodes with more being posted up all the time, and it's completely free. So do it!
Only cost you your firstborn.
Yeah, only cost you your precious, precious time. And you can follow me on Twitter at Kyle M. Bennett. That's Kyle_M_Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's.
And you can follow me at N Art. That's NWOZNIAKART. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Nathan Wozniak, spelled the same way, because that's how I spell my name. I mean, that's no longer how I spell my name, because my name is now Murdery Pete. But it was how I spelled my name before I died. And I mean, me and Carl, we may not respond as much on social media now that we're dead. It's the internet is a little choppy here in the afterlife.
Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get to meet Death. At least you got to meet him.
Yeah, I'm a VIP, Carl. I got first person interview. You just heard from Death's secretary.
Yeah, just the magical voices that be telling me you must go back.
You didn't get to meet anyone, Carl. They didn't even want to. In fact. It wasn't. It was actually an answer machine that you heard.
It was just that on repeat, so that people could.
They got it programmed that when someone turns up in the void, that little tape clicks and records that and replays that message.
Wow. I feel terrible now. So I guess I'm going to go off and torture Handsome Pete.
No, Handsome Chad. You mean Handsome Pete?
Sorry.
Don't torture Handsome Pete, Kyle. I'm Handsome Pete.
Sorry.
For God's sake, don't get that confused.
Sorry, Handsome Chad.
I don't want while I'm on the run from the police dressed as a nun to start seeing ghostly apparitions.
Sorry, I'll say that again. I am going to go and torture Handsome Chad.
And I am going to live the rest of my life as murdery Handsome Pete.
Yes.
Disguised as a pregnant nun.
disguised as a pregnant nun and on the run in this exact date of March 2021.
Yes, the 35th of March 2021.
Exactly, the 35th exactly.
2500 Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time.
Is that not how you say it?
It is now. This has been If You Had To, though. I have been Kyle.
And I was once Nathan, but now we are both dead.
So